which brings us on to our guest for episode 24 of Shotgun The Aux. AyiTe, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm so happy to be here.
Welcome, man.
I'm gassed to be here.
Thank you, mate. Thank
been
you
a long
for
time
jumping on.
coming.
Yeah,
It has.
we had you booked in before, didn't we?
Like a couple months ago now?
Yeah.
And I flopped basically. I got super ill like 2 days before I was meant to come down, and I was there in bed. I was like, I've got to get better. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I made it down to Dorset as well, and then I was just laid up like in my mum's house. I was like, this isn't happening. Like, I can't move. I was in a bad way. So
it's all right, man. We forgive you. You fucked up our schedule.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I hope you had some other content to roll with, but thank you for having me back.
No worries at all, man. How was your journey down from London today?
Good, man. Sweaty. Pretty sweaty.
And I've got a comment on that, right? So it's probably like one of the hottest days of the year so far.
It's boiling.
It's absolutely baking. So being outside, having a few beers, kind of soaking up the sun.
Soaking it up.
Yeah, I think barbecue's on the cards after this as well. So
yeah,
anyway,
we got some guys working on that, firing that up.
Yeah, we do.
So just before we go, shout out to who else was it? Fraser and.
So we got Fraser and we got
Dan, my cousin Dan.
Who just rolled in pretty pissed with a big steak, saying they're going to put it on a barbecue.
Big bit of meat.
But Tom's we're a bit cautious on that, letting them touch the barbecue, aren't we?
It's fine. It's only a cheap one, so whatever they do.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
He called me the other day and he was like, oh, you go around Tom's on Saturday, and I was like, yeah, man. Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, I'll see you there. I was like, oh cool. Did those guys invite you? He's like, nah, but like, I'm gonna come around anyway, have a barbecue or whatever. And I was like, okay, safe, man.
I received quite a sheepish text.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, my cousin's coming round. Yeah. I was just like, do you want to come over?
Yeah. Knew what he was getting at there.
Yeah. So man. So tell us a little bit, or tell our listeners a little bit about like who you are, the kind of music you make, and because you've released a couple of really really good tracks at the moment. Your stuff's very kind of contemporary, very soulful. And do you want to kind of elaborate a little bit more about who you are as an artist?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like that's kind of a good place to start. I guess it's hard talking about yourself, trying to sum up your own music, but that is definitely something that I always, whatever I'm working on, whatever I'm going into, I always try. It's always a conscious effort to try and incorporate some soulful elements, but keep it current, keep it up to date. Do you know what I mean? Keep it interesting. Not to make something that just feels like a throwback. Do you know what I mean? For the sake of being a throwback.
Bap.
Yeah. Like get elements of that in there, definitely. But I don't like to limit myself. You know what I mean? I like what I make is. I guess it's a form of hip hop. Like I would call it that for sure. I don't know. Like people throw around the term alternative rap. Maybe that's maybe where I'd place myself. But yeah, man, lyricist, producer, and just all-round musician, I guess. Doing my thing.
Yeah, talented motherfucker. So, I mean, we were talking last week about that kind of pocket between like grime and hip-hop in the UK, and like certain artists coming through at the moment, the ones who are actually like smashing it, not only commercially, but just generally they're acquiring like a following due to the, I guess, like innovative kind of quality of their music, and it's because they don't fit in either one of those in either one of those camps. You know, you kind of Cass is Dead, you like Slow Ties and people like that.
Absolutely.
It's like, okay, because you struggle so much to categorize them. It's almost like, okay, this is how music is evolving in the UK right now.
Yeah, and like I am all for that. I love that. Like as many people as there are like trying new stuff and incorporating different styles, definitely. And I feel like there is an audience there. I feel like that's why those people are getting such a good response, because it might be a bit of a niche market in comparison, but like there are people out there who want to hear that stuff and they're connecting to it. And that's why I think like, because there are arguably there's very few artists that are making a lot of noise doing that. So like any ones that are kind of like getting a lot of exposure, people are just like, yes, like jumping on it, because it's like these little gems that don't come around that often. You know what I mean? And it's definitely something that like I've tried, because I used to do a radio show and like put on events and stuff like that, and it was always something that I wanted to help push. It's these artists that I see are like up and coming, but they don't fall into those kind of like mainstream sort of pockets, and they don't have it's hard making that kind of music starting out and like finding a platform, because arguably there aren't that many. Do you know what I mean? There's like, you can get, there's a few blogs that are going to be on it if it's hot and if it's cool and whatever. But like, like where's like the GRM for alternative rappers? Do you know what I mean? Like the Loyle Carners that don't have the exposure that Loyle Carner has. Like, where does that guy put his video up? How does he get views? Do you know what I mean? I feel like it's an exciting time because the more people that are pushing that sound or coming through with something a bit different, the more need there is to facilitate it.
Did you see Stormzy on Glastonbury?
I haven't watched it yet. No, my friend was like texting me in real time, like, oh, he's just done this, oh, he's just done that, like, he's wearing this.
So he was so he took like a moment out to call out kind of like the I guess some like notable names who are coming through right now, and like people like such as like Octavian and like Dave and like Loyle Carner was one of them. He called out, he shouted out as well.
Yeah.
And
so he bought on Dave and Fredo, didn't they?
Dave and Fredo, yeah, man. That was
I haven't actually seen any of it.
It was Funky Friday, so that was like the first like British rap song to make #1. Like that's why it was so notable.
Yeah.
That was a
so it was obviously like a massive night for like grime and hip hop. I'll kind of reserve my thoughts on like the Glasto audience being able to afford a ticket at £250 a pop. But there you go, man. But and also the kind of like questionable choice to roll out Chris Martin to do from Coldplay to do a little
right.
I thought
speak on that. Mate, what's your
I don't know why.
So basically Stormzy was doing his set, and then they brought out Chris Martin. My view is that. It was reinforced by quite a funny tweet that I saw that said, Chris Martin's rap name should be called The Diluter, because it was almost like to retain like the usual Glasto crowd, like, it's fine, right? Yeah. In case you thought it was too black or too grime,
Here's Chris Martin.
Exactly, man. I just cringed, but there you go. But
it's kind of it's kind of almost the opposite of what Jay-Z did. That was Glastonbury, right?
Yeah. That was
where he came out to Wonderwall. It was kind of like a little bit of a, not a middle finger, but it was. Do you know what I mean? It was a little bit of a bit of a flex kind of thing.
Yeah, man. I mean, Stormzy was up there talking about like Grenfell. He was talking about. It's like fuck Boris Johnson, all this stuff that like people in that life can relate to, and the crowd kind of were lapping it up, and I don't know, it was just, it was great for his career, put it that way.
And
like
Banksy designed bulletproof vest.
Oh, was it Banksy designed?
Yeah, Banksy's come out and said, I designed it for someone special, whatever. Like, I don't know what he put on his Instagram.
But that's another artist he shouted out was Little Sims.
Yeah.
And we talked about our album, didn't we, last week, man?
He got the sort of prep talk from Jay-Z, didn't he, before?
Yeah, that's right.
That was really cool, because I don't know what the exact words that were said, but he said, like, you're in a position now where you've got a lot of influence. Make it
about
count.
The culture, that's the
I gave him like a little pep talk.
And I think that's kind of what obviously helped with what he said about with the knife crime, was it?
Yeah.
Really?
Wearing the vest as well and making a point out about that. Because did Dave wear one as well?
I don't think Dave did.
Was it just Stormzy?
I think so, yeah. Okay. Because he got changed several times throughout the set.
Yeah, of course.
As you would do. When you're headlining Glastonbury, you expect like a spectacle, don't you?
Yeah. You got to put on a show. Yeah,
he brought on like bike riders as well, didn't he?
Yeah. And there was all sorts, like a bit of break dancing, all sorts of stuff.
Bit of ballet.
Yeah, a bit of ballet.
Naked ballet or something. That's what my friend told me. I don't know.
Again, that was something that was as well to do with race, in terms of how black or different skin tones of ballet shoes that are only recently made in
really that they're not in colours. They're not in like the like the pink.
See, that's like a level of thinking that I don't even go to. Like when you see something, you don't necessarily like. Don't think about the context behind it. Unless you're explained it, and then you're like, oh shit, that's actually. Damn, man, that's
pretty potent.
It's poignant stuff.
Yeah,
man.
poignant. Yeah, definitely.
Stuff. So going back to you, man. So how did you get into hip hop originally back in the day?
So funny. I was 6 years old watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That's
amazing.
That was my gateway into hip hop, and like I can't deny that. That's how it happened. It was like. Just something sparked off in my brain when I watched that show and like so obviously saw the intro track and stuff and was like straight away just started like writing little raps. Do you know what I mean? At the age of 6, and I was just into it from then, and like honestly that was the first thing, and then from there obviously I was listening to like people like Will Smith at the time and stuff, obviously being a little kid, and then just like gradually that just progressed more and more. I think my dad introduced me to NWA I didn't know who they were before that, and just
It's a bit of a transition, isn't it?
Yeah, totally.
Will Smith to NWA.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there was a few little baby steps in between.
Girls enough of trouble.
Yeah.
Fuck the police.
Exactly. I think it went like, probably like Will Smith, then Snoop, because I remember I had so many little cassettes. I had like soundtracks to different movies and stuff, and like a couple of Will Smith albums and stuff like that. And there was just stuff on all these cassettes that I was just like kind of, you know what I mean, dipping into.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just like that's where it started. And then obviously as I got a bit older and like became a teenager, it was more about grime. So I was I was just heavy into that. Because I went through a garage phase, and then like I remember I like stopped listening to garage and was around the time like 50 Cent came out. So I was like, I'm kind of done with that. I'm listening to this like, you know, like US rap and stuff like that. And then my cousin gave me Boy in the Corner on CD and was like, bro, like you need to listen to this. Like this guy's from like where we're all from, like in East London and stuff. And I was like, I'm kind of over garage. Like I don't really listen to that anymore. And he was like, no, that's not what this is. So then that was like obviously like gateway into grime and
precursor to grime.
Early days. So then it became like more about that. And then I guess I kind of found myself in that position where it was like, I don't just like grime. Do you know what I mean? I like all these things, so I don't want to just make grime. So yeah, that was when I kind of started trying to fuse certain things together and and then noticed like, you know, I wasn't obviously not the only one doing that. There's a lot of other people that feel the same way and have the same influences, are kind of like melding those things together. So it's just I've been doing it basically forever. Like I can't remember a time when I wasn't like making music.
So it's a very like organic kind of gateway into it. And I like that. Man.
Yeah.
So you said you did radio and events.
Yeah.
How did you get into doing that?
Oh man, so fresh out of uni, trying to get a music industry job, not having any luck because I had no experience. Well, I just had a degree, so nothing else.
What was your degree?
Music tech.
Right.
Yeah. So I studied down here at like college level at Poole College when they were based at Knight and Heath. So we had all the studios up there, and that was when I started like taking production more seriously. Because this was the thing, I was like 15, and I was like, how do you make a song? Do you know what I mean? I was starting to like write these songs, but I was like, where do the beats come from? Where like what is that part? I just hadn't ever like, do you know what I mean, gone into that before. And then like got a copy of Fruity Loops and then just started like figuring it out. So
old school.
Yeah, man, yeah. In fact, Smoke and Mirrors was produced on Fruity.
Yes.
Keeping it real. Yeah. It started on Fruity and then I kind of finished it on Logic. So it was a little bit of a partnership there.
And that's a sick track, man. I really rate it.
I appreciate that, man.
Again, like going into that, it's very kind of contemporary sounding. It's very modern sounding, which is a nice kind of. It's almost refreshing to hear because there's a lot of oversaturation in the UK scene at the moment. But then going back to where you started out, so you were doing stuff yourself and you got into Soul Purpose, which was like a rap collective and then a duo, right? Yeah,
that's exactly right. Exactly right. So it started in uni actually, and it was just like my boy Ollie, OJ, who's obviously still he's the other half of it now. He kind of, I guess he had like a vision to like create like our own little Wu-Tang. He was like the RZA to like all of our, do you know what I mean?
To be fair, I think that's like what most rap collectives have in terms of
there's someone
objectives is like, right, let's reach that level.
Exactly.
Let's brand ourselves in a way where people are like rocking our garms.
That's it.
Rapping our lyrics.
That's it. So it's like
it's a dream, innit?
He was kind of like scouting people. So imagine it's like all of us, you know, in uni halls, like all these different rappers and producers and stuff.
Yeah.
And we're all like kind of working with each other. Or like, you know, at a party we might just like have a mess about,
like an emporium of creativity.
Yeah. And then you know, Ollie was the one who started like connecting the dots and was like, we should actually like record stuff together. We should put a project together to form a little group. So that's how that started. And then, you know, it was amazing. And actually, that's how we started putting on the events.
Right.
Quite a good segue back into that, because it was like we were wanting to get gigs. We were like again, it was like you kind of find yourself like, how does that work? Like you're trying to figure it out. How do you get a slot at an event or whatever? And it got to the point where it was like, let's literally just put on our own night. Like there's enough of us involved in this already to the point where, you know, we get a decent, you know, small venue.
Yeah.
We each invite a few people, like, and we'll just have a little event on our hands. We'll have like another couple friends.
It's like a little party, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like a little party, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we did that, and the first one we did like went off. Like it exceeded
really?
our expectations.
Was this in Bournemouth or London?
This was in London. Yeah, yeah. So this was like, God, this was a few years ago now. But yeah, we didn't really. In fact, a couple of people that we invited when they got there were like, they admittedly said like, we came because we thought you needed to make up the numbers, but like, but, like people actually really came out for this.
Nice,
so
man.
yeah, so it was really encouraging. It was like people actually do want to hear this, and hearing it in a live space, they're really enjoying it.
So the first like iteration of Sole Purpose, then, like how many of you were there?
It was me, OJ, Husky, Jem, Aiken. He was in it as well, and there was a singer, a girl called Sarah. I don't think I'm forgetting anybody.
Big up yourselves.
Because it was a little bit like we were all together at one point, and then someone. Oh, and also our boy Mike DeGroot was like the producer as well, so he was like making a lot of the beats. So that was kind of like the.
And was that when you released the track "Eyes on Tomorrow"? Because
yes.
that
and Mike DeGroot produced that.
So I just want to talk about that track for a minute, right? And my boy Mark, who's outside fucking up my barbecue, he was the first one to put me onto your music, and he sent me that track through on YouTube, and it was.
Did he send the video?
Yeah. So it was the Mos Def kind of like iteration on the hook.
Yes.
So in the rendition on the hook, I was just like, right, that's from that track Hip Hop. I'm all over this, and it worked so well.
So that probably did hook you in. That got you there.
100%. Because I mean, Black on Both Sides is probably one of my favorite albums of all time.
Yeah,
in fact, incredible. I talked about that on our second ever episode, Top Fives.
Influential.
And that lyric is just like it just gets you, man.
It does.
As soon as I heard it, I was just like, fuck.
Yeah, well, we were kind of. I remember
Genius.
when we were writing that, and we were like, I think it was Ollie's idea to do that. He was like, let's take like a sick line from a classic hip hop track and kind of rework it as a hook. And we were like, we tried it. I can't remember what with, but we tried out with so many different like examples, and then one of us was just like, what we were listening to that track and was like, what about this line, and kind of do it like this. And it's like, yeah, okay. Well, I think we did it again with another song as well, but yeah, that was a bit of a stroke of genius on his part, definitely.
Ridiculous, man. And go check that track out on YouTube, Eyes on Tomorrow.
Yeah, that's still out there.
Sick, sick track. Any Mos Def fans out? Oh, sorry, Yasin Bey.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, man, so I was listening to the new Mad Gibbs album
Pretty
yesterday.
Good.
Have you heard it yet, mate? It's
not all the way through.
You put me onto that, Tom. Actually, that's a sick album. I really like.
I mean, like two classics in under a decade. I mean, Madlib is just like sitting on a goldmine of vinyl. He's just. Yeah. I don't know what. I don't know what his secret is, but it's just incredible. And not since kind of like Mad Villainy have I seen like a real perfect marriage of like MC and producer. Those just gel
guys, gel so well. That's the thing, and you don't like. That's the thing. It used to be when I think of Madlib, I'd automatically think of Doom. I just, do you know what I mean? That would be like the association. But now it's like equally. I think of like when I think of Madlib, I think Freddie. Like,
exactly, man. But the difference being with Doom, obviously, is kind of like rhyme patterns is very kind of like off key and
there's nobody
different.
Like Doom.
Exactly, man.
Doom is top 5 for me.
Exactly. Come on.
Yeah.
But then Freddie Gibbs is more like assertive and in his rhymes and very kind of
such a G.
He is a G, exactly that. Gangsta Gibbs. But the albums
that's what they call me.
They've got their namesake, man. Jakey Gibbs, Freddie Gibbs. Are you related?
Yeah.
Who's more gangster?
Probably
Jakey
me.
Gibbs, obviously.
Yeah.
LL Cool J.
Smashes Stella after a 10k run. That's pretty gangster.
You might want to elaborate on that a little bit.
I know people tune in for my stories. The whole.
The chicken pie story.
Chicken pie at the Chelsea game and, things like that. So I went for a 15k run today, and it, as Tom mentioned earlier, it was boiling today. So I kind of gave up, at 15k and then walked the rest home. But I was so thirsty, but all I could think about was beer. So when I got home, I just, rather than normally I'll just smash a load of water back, but I just cracked open a can of Stella and just downed it.
You stone cold it, mate.
Yeah, it probably wasn't my best like kind of decision I've made in life, to be honest. Felt a bit shit.
Is that a low point in your life?
I haven't eaten today either, so it's kind
You
of
learned from it though.
I've learned
that's
from
the
my
main thing.
mistakes.
Yeah, I forgot to eat today as well. Jesus. Anyway, yeah, back to Mad Gibbs though, man. Like,
Yeah. Are you gonna see him?
Yeah, I got my
Yeah,
ticket. I'm going with
we got tickets,
I'm
yeah.
going with Cosm actually.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it'd be good. Yeah, because he's
Sick.
in Windsor, so he's not too far from there.
We
Yeah,
should
we're
link
going
up
to
for that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You're in London, aren't you?
Yeah.
So they've only got the balcony seats now, but it's still. Have you been to Kentish Town? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all like it's not allocated seats or anything.
Yeah, no.
I saw Run the
it'll be
Jewels
fine.
there a few years back. It was a really dope venue, man.
Oh, I bet that was good.
Yeah, Killer Mike was like rocking a sling when he was.
Oh,
yeah,
no way.
it's crazy. But that Mad Gibbs album, man, like I was thinking like it's going to be hard to top Pinata because Pinata was just like
Yep.
I don't know, man. Like, it was just a very special
seminal.
record.
It's quite
Yeah.
seminal. Like, and you almost. I almost forget about it
Mm-hmm.
and how important it is and how like influential that album actually is. Like, people love that album. It's sick.
Have you heard of Antony Fantano? You know the
Yeah. Needle Drop.
Needle Drop.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
YouTube sensation.
yeah, exactly. So he reviewed Pinata like some time ago when it dropped, and he obviously commented on he rated it as like a really good album, and he was talking about like the highlights, and he was he talked about a track Uno, and he was just like
That's my favorite one.
he
track.
glossed over it. He was just like it's kind of meh.
Right.
And I was like, fuck you, Antony Fantano. That's the best
No.
fucking track on the album.
Yeah, that track.
Yeah.
Number one with the bullet. That bangs.
Yeah,
that
just
absolutely bangs.
incredible. Absolutely incredible.
It's funny that guy. Like, I feel like for the most part, I agree with like most of the stuff he says. Like most of the ratings he gives and the stuff
I think in principle, but maybe not intrinsically.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In
Every now and again,
depth,
he'll say something. I'm like, no, like you've lost me there. Like,
yeah. Well, that's
Was
just
it Dave's
subjective, isn't it?
psychodrama that he gave a 5 to recently?
Yes.
a 5.
Fuck
He gave
off,
a
that's-
5 to it, yeah.
Wow.
And then Slow Tie's album, he gave a 9 or an 8 or an 8.5 or a 9, something like that.
That's very. I mean, that's it's a good album, but
Wow,
that's
yeah.
that's a big.
Yeah. Very,
I
very
did half
different
watch
albums.
the review of that one, and I was like,
Yeah.
I haven't watched either of those actually. Yeah, 5.
Yeah,
Shit.
man.
Mm.
But there
he
was
was like, yeah, it just all sounds the same, basically. I think to recap.
But I think,
I'm
I
gonna
don't know,
watch-
maybe it's
watch
just
that.
you've just got to be British to understand it, because a lot of it is
I
about
would-
sort of politics and stuff.
Yeah.
quite well educated. I mean, in
He
terms of-
he kind of gets it though. That's
Yeah,
why
yeah.
because normally I would agree with that, but I feel like he, in some way, I don't know why.
He's
We
too
got so-
intelligent. He's too intelligent just to have that kind of like.
He got
I'm
Slow Tie's
American.
album,
I don't
didn't he?
understand the accent
Yeah,
and stuff. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? He is quite.
But he
I-
seems to do a bit of research into the culture, because then when he's talking about like the subject matter, he feels like at least he kind of understands literally what they're talking about. Do you know what I mean?
I
But
respect his opinion. Do you know what I mean? Put it
Yeah,
that way.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
To your point, he does for the most part know his stuff,
Mhm.
which gives him a bit more kind of like weight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
But yeah, with that Mad Gibbs album, man, like some of the bars in it, and there's a track in it with Pusha T, and the beat was just made for him.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's got
Yeah.
Killer Mike and Pusha T on a track. It's just absolutely incredible, man.
I've heard about
And
2 seconds of it.
there's a track with
Get
with
back to
Mos
that.
Def, sorry, Yassine Bey and Black Thought.
Yes.
And I was just like, okay, you need to make a Madlib, Mos Def, Black Thought
man.
project.
No,
It has to
wait,
happen. It has to happen. Because I haven't heard Mos Def since the Ecstatic on a track with Madlib. You know the one that he did with Slick Rick as well.
Yeah. I love
Arena.
that. Yeah, I love that one.
Is it Arena?
I don't remember what that.
It's not Arena. It's
No, it's-
I know. Yeah, it's something like that. Isn't it? It's like the one with the kind of Middle Eastern feel to
balls,
it.
Yeah, I can't think now. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah,
It's
it's
annoying me.
annoying, man. It's annoying, but
Yeah, that album is great. Again, it's like the production on that.
it's really lo-fi.
Yeah, and it's weird. You know, like the samples are kind of a bit weird and wonky, and like, but that's what I love about it. It's like there's so many like kind of nuances to that.
I love Slick Rick's part in that as well.
Yeah,
Where he just talks to a little kid in it, and he's just like,
like classic storytelling.
"My fabulous raps, la di da."
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
He's mad, isn't he? I didn't want to have to stop to do this, but it's going to annoy me now as well.
I'm trying to find it, but I don't.
Just hang on with us, guys. We're
I don't
just.
think it's. I mean,
Talk
talk
about
amongst
it.
yourselves, boys. You know.
Auditorium, fuck.
Auditorium, that's it.
Yeah.
I
No,
knew,
I wanna,
auditorium. I knew it was something around
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
Colosseum or like.
Yeah,
I
I was going
knew-
to say Colosseum. Yeah.
I just want to go back to when you were talking about the events you put on. And obviously you and Soul Purpose.
Yeah.
So you'd all be up on stage and everything.
Yeah. So that was, and like in a way, it was kind of like sometimes I guess it was a bit of a mess because we were all just there. We were just there like we were at our different, like we were wearing different stuff, had our own different styles that we were bringing to it and stuff. But no, Pete, like we put on some great shows, some really great nights, and like that. So that first one that we started talking about, like that was really. Like that was proof to us that like, okay, we can do this. We can put on we can put on an event. People will come. They'll have a good time. We can curate something cool here. So, so we did one again. Like I think within a month. Like someone who was at that event had a link up at another venue, and they were like, "Do you want to do it there?" So we're like, "Yeah, sick, do it." Did it again. Again, like just. Like smashed it. Like loads of people came through. We had like a few more like family members come through that time as well. It was like really, really cool vibe. And then shortly after, so whilst we were doing that, that was when I was at the radio as well. So I was doing a weekly show called Soul Purpose Radio. It was like all tied in.
Nice
at Hoxton FM, which sadly isn't there anymore. Dan Thom is the guy who runs it. He's still doing it, but kind of like remotely. He's like traveling a lot, and he'll like broadcast shows here and there. But the building where we had the studio got knocked down. It got bought by like property developers, and they knocked it down, and the building flats, obviously, 'cause it's East London. So yeah, RIP to what it was. Hopefully it is still a thing, and hopefully will evolve again. But so I was doing that, and it was Dan Formas, who's like, he's really been like a mentor to me, and he helped us get a residency at 93 Feet East, which is a venue on Brick Lane, because they'd closed down and like had recently reopened, so they were like looking for new promoters, new nights and stuff like that. So that's when it became a regular thing. So we had a monthly residency there, and we would every month we'd do soul food. And we'd have like we'd always have headline. Obviously.
That was the name of the night.
That was the name of the night.
Mate,
you
branded yourselves pretty well.
Yeah.
Respect.
That sounds sick.
So like and like we'd do a set, and then we'd have like I said before, just like these dope artists that we were meeting, or who were doing something a bit different, a bit interesting, whatever, and we'd like incorporate other elements. We'd have like sometimes have like art installations, or do you know what I mean? Like try and be a bit imaginative with it. And yeah, it was fun. It was really fun, and we had some amazing nights, but it was really difficult to maintain, because it's like, I mean, we're not making loads of money doing it. We're kind of doing it for more the exposure, and more just for the fun of it and for the passion and stuff. And after a while, it's like you start, you see a lot of the same faces come through, and it's like, that's cool and everything, not to be, ungrateful on that, but it's like, okay, maybe we need to focus on getting more gigs. Do you know what I mean?
See, like, I suppose you need to see like the growth of it, and
yes,
at some point there needs to sort of be some sort of comeback, some profitability.
There needs to be
exactly
incentive.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. And like, if financially there wasn't much of an incentive, and that's fine. But then it got to the point where it's like, we're not actually growing our fan base anymore here. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like we're inviting these people back every time.
Yeah.
And people can't make it every month. Like they're like, well, I went to the one last month. I'll come next month. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, we were like, we need to take time away from that and focus on getting ourselves out there and getting more gigs, with other promoters and other venues and stuff, around the city and around the country and whatever. So then we just started doing them sort of as and when. So like we did another event. There's this place in Brixton called Chip Shop.
Chip Shop, yeah.
You know it? You guys know it?
Yeah, Chester P's got his album launch next month.
There you go.
It coincides with his birthday as well. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's iconic, man. Chip Shop in Brixton.
It is. And they've had some big names through there. And I have to say, we were the first people who put on a live music showcase there.
Sick.
Really?
And they do actually sell fish and chips as well. It's not just the hipster name of a bar.
So it's a proper restaurant.
It's
the best fish and chips in London. Because like obviously growing up down here, there's I've got some standards when it comes to fish and chips.
See, my wife is from Devon, man. So she's from Brixton.
She knows.
So fish and chips, she's super judgmental down here. She's just like, nah.
Oh really?
It won't do. It doesn't even cut it here.
Wow. So, yeah, that's pretty intense.
I know, it's levels.
Yeah, it is. So for me, I was like, okay, this is sick. But the food there is so good. It's like, it's like high end fish and chips. Like like not mad expensive, but you can get like a nice tuna steak. You can get all like different
deep fried.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, everything that's salad, deep fried. Yeah. So yeah, and like at the time they were just doing like every Friday I think they'd have a DJ come in because they had like a little decks and stuff at the end of the bar, and they'd just have a DJ come in and do like a little live set. And I just read about this place because it only opened like a few months prior. So I got in touch with the owner. I was like, have you guys ever thought about doing an actual live showcase night with some rappers and some singers and some actual musicians and stuff? And they were like, yeah, we've like really been thinking about that, but haven't sort of taken the steps to doing it yet, or just the time wasn't right or whatever. So we had a couple of meetings, and then took Soul Food to Chip Shop, which made even more sense because it was like, do you know what I mean, with the branding and stuff.
Yeah, man.
And
there's a synergy there with the food.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
exactly.
calling it out for the people who want to switched on.
Not marketing savvy. That's exactly. But yeah, no,
It's food.
Food. Yeah, makes sense. And yeah, we put on another Soul Food night there, and it was great. And we had who do we have play that time? We had so we did a set. We had Shay Lingo. Do you know Shay Lingo? Yeah.
Damn, man, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, man. Shay's been rocking with us for a long time. We had him on a couple events actually, like back in the day, a few years ago. But yeah, we had him play. I think we gave him the headline slot. We had Kieran Booth. That's a guy who you guys need to check out. You probably haven't heard of.
No, man.
Kieran Booth.
You guys will love him.
What kind of music does he do?
It is kind of like alternative rap, but it's very, again, it incorporates that classic kind of 90s flavor. It's very soulful. It's very like, some of it's like quite stonery kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like a bit jazzy, bit laid back.
Like that, man.
But and equally, he can switch it up and like jump on a grind beat and kill it. He's a really talented guy, and he's got like good visuals.
The best MCs can though, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got
to be versatile.
You have to
be adaptable.
Versatile. You have to be.
So in London, do you find like there's a lot of competition, being like the city is very cultural? There's a lot of competition to put on these events.
It's weird. It's like it's easier to get it done. It's a tough one to explain because you're right about there's so much competition.
Yeah.
But in a way, there's just a mindset there where people are more up for it. Do you know what I mean? So like, I feel like I'd struggle more maybe to put an event on down here and like get the word out and get people like hyped about it, because people are always looking for something to do anyway. Yeah. And you never, I mean, there are a lot of small music venues that are closing down. It is a problem, but you're still not too spoiled for choice in terms of where finding a space where you can put an event on. So actually, just doing it and getting started is pretty easy as long as you just go for it.
It probably boils down to demographic as well. Like London's more of like
exactly
very multicultural. It's like in terms of like population.
Well, this is it. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
sure. A lot more people.
Yeah, you put like arguably like you put maybe a drum and bass night on down here, and that's gonna go off maybe.
Yeah, big like, student population.
But like a kind of like headsy, like jazzy hip hop night. Like that's good. That might be tough to sell down here.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. But then there's people who want to do it. But yeah, it's a tough one. It's swings and roundabouts really.
And when you were putting in these shows, were you doing the same sort of set, or were you going back to the studio?
Yeah, well, that was another reason it was difficult, because it's like we're playing the same songs every month. Do you know what I mean? It's like we need time to, as well as get other gigs, we need time to work on some new music. And like you think about it, we got 4 weeks in between each thing, and it's like we've all got day jobs. We're all like getting things ready for the next event, and then it's like the time you have to actually work on music. It's like it was that was another reason it was challenging to keep it going like that on that regular basis.
Yeah, man.
But yeah.
So did you already have the name like AyiTe like in your mind before you got with Soul Purpose? And tell us a bit more about that name.
Yeah, it's
very niche.
It's a weird one. It's a weird one, and it's one that I've like, to be honest with you, there's been times where I've been like, maybe I should rethink that, because people can't, you see it written, you can't pronounce it. There's no way. But it was, I guess I like kind of adopted that name, I guess, when I was down here. Maybe I was about 15. And I was like making music with like my friends from down here, Jackson Park, who produced Smoke and Mirrors and a few other ones that are coming out. Like we grew up together down here, so we had like a little collective then. And basically it's essentially a family name. It's one of my dad's middle names that his dad gave to him, and it's Nigerian, supposedly means first son. So, and for some reason I was just like, I kind of want a name that because I was, I had some dodgy like MC names back in the day.
Let's have it.
Back in the
Come
day.
on. Do you remember? Do you record them?
Hooligan was one I
Hooligan.
was rolling with for a long
I
time.
quite like that.
Yeah, not very fitting either. That's the thing. I was I don't know what I was thinking, what avenue I thought I was going to take. I was like, I'm like
He's a
all
nice
out.
guy as well.
yeah, with the most aggressive name. So yeah, and just I was like, I need a proper name, and I don't know, it was one that kind of found me. I was just like, yeah, that'd be kind of cool. I just started using it, and it is one of those things like it starts off as like a bit of a not a joke, but people just start using it kind of like in a light-hearted way, and then it's like people then just start to know you as that kind of thing. And there's people now that I've met who kind of they probably don't even know my real name. They just know me as AyiTe. And it's like it's a weird one, but now it's like I'm stuck with it. So and I like it. So it's all good.
Oh, that's good, man. It's good to have like a unique identity.
That was another thing. It's like no one else is gonna have that.
No, man, that's
name,
a really
And you've got a meaning to it as well. It does
Yeah.
sort of, it's not just a name you've plucked out; it's a name that's connected to you.
Exactly. Yeah. So
because we've talked like on multiple occasions about like people with MC names and like how humorous some are. Like Oliver Sudden, that's like probably the one we
I
always
love
go
that
back
one.
to. The guy he's from Croydon, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oliver Sudden. I think that's just
that's funny.
dope fucking name.
That's
so good.
When you first said it to me, it did take me a little bit
Yeah,
to
yeah.
actually figure out why it was funny, and I was like, oh, then.
Yeah, I
All of
didn't
a
get- I
sudden,
didn't-
you got it. Yeah. Sorry, mate. But
sorry.
But yeah, that all of a sudden he's got old YouTube footage with Seeper from People Just Do Nothing. You've got
Yeah.
MC Grinder, so they know each other. So they've got like
it?
there's a really like old video of those two going back and forth spitting bars. Yeah.
Nice.
Because I never realised it was only until I don't know where I saw it, some sort of YouTube channel.
All of a sudden follows us now, by the way.
Oh, big up. Big
Yeah.
up.
Wow,
Some YouTube video where obviously the guys from People Just Do Nothing, they actually did do a lot of like rapping back in the
Like
the
they
beginning.
took it seriously.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I never knew
I
that.
think that Grinder. I think he's like Seeper.
I think they're
I
actually
rate him.
sick.
I rate him. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
You
he's.
think if when he takes it seriously?
Yeah. Did you see the old? Obviously, he was
I
in
mean,
character.
you've got to be good to even do
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
in a satirical
yeah,
way.
of course,
you
man.
You still have to be able to spit, and you have to be able to write that stuff.
Do you know, I
So
thought this last
The
night. I watched
the
the
voice
video.
that he puts on for it, like when he does
Yeah.
like the garage, like
Yeah,
speaking
yeah,
to
yeah.
It's a character
He does
as
the
well.
ragga rap and all that stuff.
Yeah,
doesn't he?
yeah.
that's
But
funny,
the thing
man.
is, though, that I think it's like even though they're kind of, it's a comedy and they're taking the piss, they never really point fun at the culture. It's
No.
just,
Apart from
it
house
so
music.
happens to be funny because they're funny, pathetic people.
it's
The characters, I mean, but like,
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
never ever pointing fun at garage music or like at grime or at
no,
hip hop.
no, and that's why it works, because you can tell they actually respect it. It's the
Yeah,
opposite.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, exactly.
They actually really know their shit
Yeah,
when it
yeah,
comes to
exactly,
garage.
man.
Like that's why they're able to do it so
Yeah.
well, because they are that passionate.
That's why I
about it.
fucking hate people like Lee Nelson. Do you know what I mean? Who's like, you know the
Take
guy.
the piss.
Yeah, he's just taking the piss out of that kind of culture.
Doesn't
when he
get it.
probably doesn't know anything about it, and he's appeasing to kind of like upper middle class
Yeah,
types.
yeah.
Just like ha 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 ha. Isn't that? It's like
Yeah.
get
don't
the
get me
fuck
started.
out of here. But
Yeah.
digress.
No, I was having a. Who was I? Yeah, I don't want to get
They've,
into it, but yeah.
they've got a podcast coming out as well.
Who?
People Just Do Nothing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're.
That
funny,
seems
man.
long overdue. I'm surprised
Yeah.
they hadn't
Uh,
done that
It's a
already.
bit of free promo for you guys, you know.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah,
Yeah, in person.
I
All
watched
that-
him in Post Malone's house, like teaching Post Malone.
Oh,
how to-
yeah, I
That
saw
was
that, I
that
saw
was pre
that.
pre face tattoo, wasn't it?
He's there like
That was a while ago.
Teach you
yeah.
how to spell your name out, and then they do the whole.
He seemed like he kind of got why it was funny
Yeah.
as
He
well.
did,
I felt like they were gonna
I
like.
tell you
Yeah.
what, right? I'm not a massive fan of his music, but I think he seems like a nice
I
guy.
actually really respect
Oh, yeah.
him.
Yeah,
I actually
yeah,
really
yeah.
respect
Person's
that
quite
guy.
cool.
Yeah, I
person,
think he
isn't
comes across as quite.
He
I
has
don't think he
released
takes
some
himself
bangers.
seriously.
And he's doing what he wants to do. Like he's not. Again, I feel like. I mean, I know he's said comments in the past about like, like when he would and wouldn't listen to rap music and his. But at the end of the day, like again, I feel like he still appreciates it.
Yeah, man.
He's still got
have
a
to.
good understand. He likes it because he likes it. He's not emulating something that he doesn't know anything about.
He's
Do you know
always
what I
like
mean?
an artist that's true to himself.
Yeah,
and
he's
put
still-
out all his own
exactly.
That's a
music,
free
isn't it?
360 to Antony Fantano because I remember Antony
Yeah.
Fantano gave I can't remember which album it was like of Post Malone's a negative review, and then Post Malone referenced Antony Fantano in his follow-up album, which goes to show how influential
Yes.
Antony fucking Fantano is.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Like, yeah, how long has he been going?
A long time, man. I think
A
he's like one of the
long
early
time.
guys.
Yeah.
He's from the start of that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, he's one of the first like YouTube reviewers I ever watched for sure.
Yeah, man. I mean,
Reviews everything though, doesn't
Yeah, he has. Yeah, But the thing is, he reviews stuff that isn't necessarily that mainstream either. Like he reviews like R.A. the Rugged Man albums and like Apathy, and so he has got like a kind of a universal grasp on music, right? And he reviews like dance music, like death metal,
yeah. And
everything, man.
And that's the thing. Whatever he's talking about, he always feels like he knows what he's talking about.
100%,
like he's using terminology. It's like, okay, you get this. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You wouldn't know what that word was. You wouldn't know how to describe this track unless you had, heard it before. Like in that genre, and you're familiar with it, kind of thing.
He even reviews. There's this Scandinavian metal band called Ghost, and their stuff's really, really conceptual. Like my brother-in-law James, shouts to you. He's like massively into them. So it's just kind of like goes to show. And then he reviews that, and then he'll review like a Little Pump album or something.
Yeah.
And it's just
exactly.
back to back. Come on, it's bizarre.
Yeah.
I like that. I like the diversity.
Yeah, I like that.
And I suppose you have to have kind of an understanding of music at that level in order to give yourself the credentials. Do you know what I mean? Like
that's it. And again, like you said, that's why when I listen to him, like I value his opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, like I'll form my own, but I'm like, okay, this guy, he's done the homework kind of thing.
Yeah, man. So going back to you, man. So obviously after Sole Purpose, are you still like affiliated with them? Are you still going?
Yeah. Oh, big time. Yeah. So
after the chip, where do we go up to?
We got up to the chip shop. Yeah. So chip shop. Yeah. So first live music event they'd done there. It was sick. It went like the guy who owns it. He was like, yeah, this was great. He was like, really into the acts that we brought through as well. We had because we did 2 there. And over those 2 times we had, Shay Lingo, who you guys are familiar with, Kieran Booth, who you get to know.
Yeah. I'm making a note, mate.
Yeah. Elisa and Shrigala, who are they're like a duo. It's Shrigala's he's a producer, and again, I think like historically kind of does more like boom bappy rap. It's kind of a bit neo soulish,
right?
And she's an incredible singer, so they're like a really good duo, and they're doing. They supported Loyle Carner, I think, when he played in London last year.
What are your thoughts on Loyle Carner?
I like him.
We get so many like mixed responses to this question, man.
I really like him, really respect him, and I'm glad that he's doing what he's doing. My like personal.
I'm gonna do a Westwood on you. Come on, mate.
I know. I can't. I was like, I'm not gonna give any honest opinions today. I'm gonna hold it. Fuck it. I feel like it's too much of the same thing for me. And it's just my opinion, but it's like when I listen, especially when I listen to an album, I want to be taken on a little journey. I want to hear one track that's like, just grease and, proper hype. And then I want to hear one track that's like maybe a bit of a love song. I want to hear one that's like really introspective. I want to, I want to go on I want a full tour around that person's brain. Kind of thing, and all the different sides to their personality.
Prime example that I've thought of that recently is Skepta's latest album.
Too much the same thing?
No, as in like a journey.
Yeah,
like
right.
It's all sort of different. And you take away for a journey, like each song is completely different in terms of like the sound, the beat behind it, and the rhythm.
Absolutely.
And I would definitely agree with you.
I completely agree.
Yeah, you guys.
I think not so much.
You've got to back me up now that I've said it.
I quite liked Loyle Carner's last album, the one that had like Jest on it. I think that's some really, really good tracks on it, and it was very kind of candid and open. But this new one, even though it's been like really, really well received. What's it called? Like something drowning.
Ottolenghi?
No. Ottolenghi's on it, but
waving, drowning, not waving.
Drowning and
Something about waving and drowning.
Yeah.
Screaming.
He's in the sea. So, but no, I do hear your point. It's kind of it's not a very. I don't feel kind of like really inspired after listening to it. I'm kind of like, okay, I've heard this before.
Yeah, totally. That's it.
But maybe that's like a product of the fact that
I feel like I'm label and the commercialism behind it.
Not even that, mate. Like I feel that like there's so much kind of oversaturation out there, and he is really, really good. And maybe it's because like
that's what he does. He does so well.
Yeah.
Like you can't say he's not
maybe
a good
I'm
rapper.
just spoiled. Maybe I'm
musician.
spoiled. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Do you hear what I mean? It's kind of like
that's a point.
But it depends on where you're approaching hip hop and lyricism from. Is it something that's like He's just very kind of okay. He rhymes something very kind of simplistic, and he's talking about what's on the top of his head at the time.
Yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily drill any deeper than that at a conceptual level.
Yeah, it's a lot of surface stuff.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I mean, maybe I need to dig a bit deeper, but yeah, that's the way I.
However,
kind of feel about it.
if you're at a barbecue and we're branding this barbecue music, and somebody was to bump Loyle Carner, you'd nod your head to it. You're like, I'm feeling this, man.
Yeah,
exactly.
Every song.
I like his. I like his
music.
He's got good cadence. He's got a good kind of tone to his voice. I really like the tone of his voice.
He's got bars, like
exactly,
he's
man.
Sick bars, like you can't
100%. I think
he's
maybe
really young as well. So he's done really well for his age, isn't he?
Oh my God,
like
yeah.
20. I think he's 23, is it?
Think about that, yeah. No, yeah.
Not as young as Dave though, man.
That guy.
He just turned 21. Did you see like he just got absolutely like fucked on his 21st, and like all the other like artists were coming out and just like ripping out of him for how like fucked he got at his 21st.
He's probably a lightweight. He's probably like not. He hasn't had that many years to like build up that.
That tolerance. Yeah. That's crazy, man.
That's imagine being that rich at 21 though, turning 21 and being like.
I just saw a video of
top of your game.
Like, he took his mum to Westfield and then like walking through the car park and like he obviously like took her shopping and she had like Louis Vuitton bags and then he walks her up to like this like Mercedes AMG with like a bow around it and he was like, oh, I just bought my mum like the car she's always wanted and all of that.
Yeah.
Like, what's the track on Hyperdrama where he talks about kind of the plight of being famous, and it's almost like it's actually really tragic how everyone kind of like wears kind of bling and all that stuff for fronting, but really like the music industry is really cruel. It's only because people are like really insecure, and this is why we like, you know, wear all this jewelry, and it's
to compensate.
Exactly, man. It's well candid. I was just like listening to it, thinking this is a commercial release, like.
Yeah,
I love this shit.
Yeah, yes, I totally agree with you. And
that track, man, like that. Honestly, that knocked me for 6. That one.
Yeah. I fully. That's why. I mean, I think that's why he is such a kind of special case. Do you know what I mean? Because he's. Not unlike Stormzy. You know, they've got this platform that, you know, UK rappers and MCs have tried and failed to get for years and years and years. Not like obviously no disrespect to them, but like I think that's more a reflection of like society and like we weren't ready for it then, do you know what I mean? And like now people are, like, the mass audience are ready for it, and you know they've got to this stage where, you know, they could just make a bunch of Funky Fridays and make loads of money. Sure they could, but they're not. Do you know what I mean? And like
they're talking about
there's a lot to be said for that. Yeah.
But what would you say? I mean, it's an interesting point that you raised about if certain artists were to come out now. Like I had this discussion beforehand. Like like Nas, right? Yeah. So when Nas dropped Illmatic, that was a commercial record that dropped back in the day. Mm-hmm. Imagine bars like that dropping on the radio now. A lot of like primo beats, AZ. You'd be like, this isn't a commercial record.
Yeah.
What if like Jest or Kalashnikov was to drop their stuff now? Boy. I know they're still making music respectively.
Yeah. No, I know.
But you know what I'm saying?
If they were starting their journeys now.
But
they would. I'm sure they would be the Loyle Carners or the. Do you know what I mean? They would be those household names.
Because you often hear interviews with the likes of Jest, and they sometimes sound quite almost disenfranchised and a little bit like, oh, people just looked over us. Like we were there before grime.
Well, yeah.
But nobody really paid any attention from a commercial perspective.
And they didn't, and that's true. And it's tragic in a way.
Yeah.
But that. For me, that's the price you pay for being a pioneer of something. Do you know what I mean? Like
Sugar Hill Gang, man.
Rodney P.
No, actually, no, not Sugar Hill.
Famous as he should be, is he?
No, absolutely not.
And Grandmaster Kaz, man.
Right.
Fucking wrote Rapper's Delight. Do you know what I mean?
Right, there you go.
So they took the credit and the money, and he penned the bars for that track, and he sees no royalties.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's like it's not fair. It's not fair that some people will. You know, they'll get the exposure that they deserve and others won't. But like, it's depending on when you come out, when you start doing your thing. It's kind of like when you are a pioneer, it's almost it sounds bad, but it's your duty to just take that. Yeah. Like you're getting the ball rolling for you're paving the way for. The Daves and the Loyle Carners and the
Roots Maneuver,
and the Octavian.
Rodney P should be a lot more sort of.
Of course, yeah. If Kano dropped Home Sweet Home now and no one heard that album,
That would go
forget
on,
it.
yeah.
Forget
I
it.
still think,
Just
but
forget it.
but
Like,
then
'cause
again,
he has been as successful as he has
Yeah,
been.
yeah.
He's one of the
Kano,
driving forces
Kano
behind
still
it.
achieves certain levels of success, but like the likes of Jest and Rodney P haven't though. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yes, yeah.
It's but yeah, man, it's one of those things. But it's retrospective because at the time, like to your point, like the pioneers need to do their thing, but
Yeah,
they
and
don't
it's
know
not
that
fair.
at the time.
No.
At the time,
Totally.
they're doing their thing creatively and like hoping they're going to make it. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's
yeah.
not. Unfortunately, like foresight's a bitch, isn't it? But
Yeah, no, totally.
I think as well, I think it is a lot down to the genre in terms of.
Yeah.
See, hip hop and grime are quite different. I think
Oh, totally.
with grime, where it was purely UK, purely British, everyone just fucking loved the fact that it was sort of ours in a sense.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's not ours, but like the founding
It was a
fathers,
new
whatever.
sound.
Whereas hip hop has very much has always been that sort of it's American.
Yeah,
Who is it? I think I know who it is, but I don't want to put them on blast. But someone from that era, like one of the heavy hitters, one of the not Chester P, but one of the Chester P's or the Kalashnikovs or whatever, said that like, what we were doing then, we were just. They sort of said, admittedly, we were just copying the Americans. We were adopting that style.
I know exactly who you mean.
Right, and like we were just sounding like them. We were just doing our own version of that, which was sick, and there were people that loved it. But I think that's why, because it's not like grime was already it's already inherently within us as British people. Do you know what I mean? Like whether you. I think like almost regardless of class, like it's just there's certain things that rapper's gonna say it's just gonna resonate with you because you're living it and breathing it every
you can
day.
Just trace grime back to garage and then and it
exactly
kind of just evolved
and,
and
and that's why hip hop is as big as it is in the States because it's part of their history, it's part of their lineage. You know what I mean? It's all of that.
So going back to Soul Purpose. So did you do the producing for that, or was that someone else?
No, I actually, weirdly enough, I never have done any of the production for the Soul Purpose stuff. It just happened to be that way. Like at first, it was kind of a combination of Ollie's beats and Mike, the group I was mentioning before. They were like producing the whole thing basically. And then once Soul Purpose kind of shrunk down. Again, it was mainly Ollie like working on the beats and stuff, and we'd mix the tracks together, and I'd be like, it needs a little bit more of this, less of that, whatever, But like the production, like the producing has mainly always been like for my own stuff. I just like worked on my own and put like tracks together there. I've not really.
So you've produced your own solo stuff, then? Like,
yeah. So I had
I
had a little EP. I put a little EP out when I was back when I was in uni, which. I don't even know where you can listen to that now. Like there was a service called like Audio Mac or something like that, and I uploaded it there. You can stream it and listen to it there. It's called Witch Hunt, and it's like 4 tracks or something like that. Yeah. But again, like you listen to that now, it's gonna be a very different kind of sound, I would imagine. Like, and with the new stuff, so with like Smoke and Mirrors and a couple other tracks that are gonna be coming out next, it's mainly been my mate Jackson, who's like doing the bulk of the production. Basically, he sent me through he sends me beats all the time because we've been working together for like forever. So we send each other stuff all the time.
Did you start working before or after Soul Purpose?
Way before. This is like from when we were like 13.
Right. Okay.
This is down here. Yeah. This is like
it's in his blood.
Yeah, this is in school. This is in
Pop
school.
is in his blood.
So me and Jackson, we were like best mates. So we send each other music all the time anyway. And there was just a period where he was just sending me, like really frequently, just sending me these beats that were like a minute or 2 long, and like some of them was like, I don't really know what to do with this one, and I kind of just like cherry picked all the ones that I felt like I had a bit of a vision for, and I was like, right, these 4 or 5 whatever, I was like, this could be a sick project right here. So I was like, send me all the stems. So he sent me all the stems for all these beats, and like. With Smoke and Mirrors, for example, I kind of like, just kind of like mixed it slightly differently. Added like a couple extra like 808s to like beef it out a little bit, At the end of that track, there's an amazing piano part which is played by George Mendiza, who's a guy who I went to uni with. So I took it to him. I was like, lay some piano down. Took it to someone else, play a little bit of guitar, and just beefed it out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, respect for that.
Just developed it. And
so it wasn't purely like sample bass. You actually outsourced
no, it was
people you knew, creatively.
Getting a lot of people's input on it, and then obviously writing to it and such. And so all the tracks that we've done have been really collaborative, because it's been his kind of initial idea that I've kind of developed a little bit and written to. So that's been super fun way of working. And then to be honest, the production stuff I haven't I've got beats at the moment that I need to get back to, but it's kind of gone a little bit on the back burner a little bit. But I consider myself a producer as much as I do, a vocalist.
So that track, Don't Worry About That. And is that I'm probably gonna fuck this up, but is it DJ Jaden?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I think that's heavy, man.
That's mad. So that's got some mixed reviews from
Bitch, you're addressing the prodigy, by the way. You got
What's that?
That's a lyric. That's a bar in that track, mate. I've got to say, if you forgot it.
Which one? Yeah, no, I don't know. No, I don't know which one you're referencing.
It's to say, so bitch, you're addressing a prodigy.
Oh yeah. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, I did write that. Yeah. What? Yeah, my bad.
I quite like the video as well, man. It was dope.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's an ambitious video. Jaden had a real vision for that. He wanted to do a bit of do something that was a little bit more cinematic and not just stood in the street rapping or whatever. So it was fun to do that.
Shotgun The Aux bars.
Do you know what I mean? It's for
or stood in my lounge.
Yeah, but that works for that though. You know what I'm saying? That's you need that rugged, raw kind of element.
Yours is going to be in the bath.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, that's it. Just innovation. That's what it's all about, man. But no, I like that. I liked being able to do something a little bit different and just it was a lot of fun being involved in that. But it was there's a couple people that were I think most people have liked it. Don't get me wrong. I love the track, and I think it's got radio play and stuff, and people are into it. But it's weird. It's almost people like it and maybe criticize it for exactly the same reason, in that it sounds I guess not what people have come to expect of me.
Yeah.
So some people
elaborate, man.
So people, I don't know. It's it obviously has that. It's slightly more aggressive, maybe.
Got a trappy beat as well.
Yeah, it's got a trappy element to it, and I realised that maybe it doesn't sound as much like the stuff that I have released to date. A lot of the Soul Purpose stuff, it doesn't have as much of a soulful influence on it. It's quite, do you know what I mean? Quite gritty and grimy, and I guess some people who have only started listening to me in the last couple years or whatever, they just don't associate me with that kind of style. But it's as much me as it is the laid back kind of, do you know what I mean?
I think that's maybe everyone else's problem.
Yeah, totally.
I say that with the utmost respect, but there is kind of a there's almost there can be an elitist mindset when it comes to kind of very narrow-minded. I'm only a fan of this for this reason.
Yeah.
And rather than thinking, okay, so the artist is staying true to themselves and they're evolving and developing and they're doing what they want to do and pursuing the creative path that they want to follow.
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
Oh, why aren't they doing what I want to do?
Yeah.
I want to hear, rather. It's kind of
true.
It's you don't owe the listeners anything.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
They don't own you. They can't
exactly,
they can't
man.
dictate
Toxic
what you do.
fandom.
Yeah, and I think we're all guilty of it to a certain extent.
Course,
an artist does what we don't like, or do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's but again, that's
like Michael Jackson touching kids,
Yeah, not
none of us rate that shit.
No.
He let us all down there.
He really dropped the ball on that one.
Michael Jackson far too much.
Does he come up a lot? I mean,
since we started doing the podcast, Jake just gets taxes everywhere now. It's gone way to his head.
That is funny, man.
Oh man.
But that was actually something that I was thinking of when we were talking about Loyle Carner, is that if he did turn around and put out a grime tune, or do you know what I mean, started spitting over some trap or whatever, I'd be there for it.
Yeah.
But a lot of his fans would not. Do you know what I mean? I feel like they've come to expect something from him now, where if he wanted to break outside of that box, it would probably be quite difficult.
Do you think that's because you were approaching it as an artist yourself?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe,
so you kind of understand the plight.
Yeah, I guess you kind of see it from the other side, maybe.
100%, man. And you've had another couple of good tracks out recently. There's one, No Smoking, man. That's another one, and it was. So I'm probably gonna again butcher this guy's name. Is it Elysion?
Yeah, Elysion.
Elysion.
Yeah,
Elysion
yeah.
is produced it, and you got Molly Nicholson doing the vocals on there,
she's
man.
Sick. I still haven't met her. I don't actually know who she is.
That track was just so. It was really mellow. It's got real summer vibes.
Yeah.
Check it out, people. So it's on Spotify. No Smoking. It's just it's very contemporary sound, very smooth.
I appreciate that, man.
No,
that was fun. Like I met Elysion when we both played the same. We were playing the same gig. God, a while ago now, like well over a year ago, and just like from there straight away, like he had like I think he was using like a little Ableton Push thing, and he was like just like playing these like crazy beats and stuff, and I was like, I like this guy's wave. Do you know what I mean? I like what he's doing. And we're just like chatting to him after that, and then we finally linked up. I went to visit him in is it Gloucester or something like that? I can't remember where he lives now. It's like outside of London, and I was just like, it was just fun because it was like he's quite experimental with it. Do you know what I mean? He kind of takes risks and he puts in like little weird sound effects and stuff. And again, like I'm all for that. So I was like, but it's
like a J. Paul type. Like.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like some kind of like real.
Shout out J. Paul.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Have you listened to that? The leaked.
Yes.
Yeah. It's been on heavy rotation.
Fucking incredible, mate.
Yeah. No, it's good.
I love J. Paul. Like.
He's great. It's mad that how much, like you forget how much of an influence he has had, considering he hasn't really done much.
Fuck all, like Jay Electronica.
Oh my
Because we have a laugh about this, right? Because like,
can we get into that, please?
Yeah, we can. So like, you frequently kind of shared that you're attending like various concerts in like, the London area. Mm-hmm. One of which being like, oh, Jay Electronica, and I commented like, oh yeah, do you reckon he's gonna turn up? And you were like, most definitely not. Most certainly not.
Almost certainly will not be there.
And then it was Common. I was like, he probably will turn up. You're like, yeah. Common's definitely more reliable.
He's way more reliable.
He's an ex of Erykah Badu. So I think there must be a common denominator. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh my god.
You never know.
Never
She's looking pretty wavy at the moment.
Bro.
I love Erykah, but
we saw her at Primavera in Barcelona, and it was the highlight of the whole festival.
Really? Oh.
It was fucking phenomenal.
I'm happy you said that, man, because I love Erykah, man.
Yeah,
She's
that's the thing. We all love her, but I was a little bit like, what is this gonna be like? What is this performance like? Is it gonna be? Because I can imagine like maybe similarly like the Lauryn Hill kind of thing, like. Maybe
inconsistent,
get a bit weird, self-indulgent,
weird renditions of tracks.
Yeah.
She's come back a lot recently, hasn't she? She played at She's played at Glastonbury.
Who? Lauryn Hill.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
she's playing at Boomtown as well this year.
Is she playing at Boomtown? When is Boomtown?
You'll go. You're not
the
going.
10th of August. Nah, man.
I got confused about that.
Sort of day.
But Erykah Badu, did you see her Tiny Desk concert?
Yes.
It was amazing.
Yes,
she did Green Eyes.
Yeah. But she's just
so good.
She's got this. She really does have this aura, like this presence. Like as soon as she steps out,
she's like Miss Jackson's daughter, isn't she? Like
Yes.
That's the fucking. That's who like fucking Andre 3000's rapping about in Miss Jackson.
That's absolutely mental. I know. And
do you know what I mean?
I didn't know that for years. That was only recently.
Mate, I just found out now.
Yeah. Because it was. You've seen that interview with her, presumably, where she's like.
I knew from a long time ago.
I didn't know this. I saw an interview with her where they were like, "How did you feel when that record came out? Like, were you kind of, did you have any feel the type of way about it or whatever?" And she was like, "No, I thought it was like, the way he was speaking about the whole thing was very respectful. It's very beautiful. It is a beautiful verse. It's like very like vivid in the way he's talking about like, like the way he's talking about these memories in a very kind of like real way." And she said that like it was her mum who was like really gassed about that tune.
I
like,
bet.
When that tune came out, she was like, "Yeah, Miss Jackson, like that's literally my song. Like that's literally about me."
Well, yeah, she's like the titular like character.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think it's very much like and Andre 3000 is probably top 10 for me. I think he's so underrated. Not top underrated, but he's obviously massively commercial. Yeah, exactly, man. But it's just because he's in Outcast. But it's the same as Black Thought at the roots. Like Black Thought's probably it kind of goes between. He's often near the top for me.
Really?
Yeah, I love Black Thought.
He's incredible.
I think he's an instrument.
He is.
He's not just. He transcends rap I think.
Yeah, definitely.
And the
definitely.
roots transcend hip hop.
Easily,
I would say.
Yeah. Easily. No, you're totally right.
I've seen them live, and I thought like these guys are just. It's just levels. It's just absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
It's a spectacle. But yeah, going back to Andre 3000, man, it's just.
He's in my top 5, obviously.
Yeah.
Also.
Like you said then, with that verse, I think just
Always.
general his style is very like vivid and like
just
his words, and I can't quite explain it, but like
he paints a picture.
No,
Yeah.
you're so right. It's I was listening, not to come on here and plug another podcast, but I was listening to this one called Dissect, which I don't know if you guys are familiar with.
No, man.
But it's kind of like, it's this guy who, again, he's like, I can't remember what he does, but he feels like maybe he's like a music teacher kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he really delves into these albums, and he's got like a series on Kendrick, a series on Frank Ocean, a series on Lauren. And in the Frank Ocean one, he talks about like Frank's like method of songwriting, and how when he's talking, he talks about memories in a non-linear way, the same way that we think of the way we form memories in our head. Like when you're thinking about past events, do you think about you don't think about it start to finish.
You're right.
It's like this moment pops into your head, and then that moment.
It's actually more of a true representation of memory then.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a collage of memories,
Mm-hmm.
and Frank Ocean does that a lot in his. In his songwriting, he'll just touch on things like I feel like in a similar vein that Andre 3000 does that as well. He just draws on this, like, it's just a stream of
consciousness.
Yeah.
And he was on Channel Orange, Frank Ocean and Andre.
He was on Blonde. Wasn't he?
Yeah, and Blonde. Yeah, but that track on Channel
Going
Orange.
on a similar vein,
that is a banger.
Thematically, another artist I've listened to a lot of is Kevin Abstract. Have you heard his album? The guy from Brockhampton.
Yeah, I haven't. Yes, of course. Yeah. I haven't listened to the whole thing. No, I've listened to bits of that.
It's really good.
It's worth
it's
sitting
really
down
good.
doing the whole thing.
It's really good. He's obviously like it's great because obviously he's like, he's a gay man. He's kind of like he's really kind of candid with his lyrics and just rapping brazenly about anyone else would, and I think it's really progressive. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's fucking amazing, and the music is incredible.
It's
incredible. Like it's like a lot of throwback to Frank Ocean, a lot of throwback to like kind of Pharrell.
Yeah.
It's very melodic, and Brockhampton's hard as well. Like
so do you like Brockhampton?
Kind of a mixed reception for me generally.
Yeah.
I think if I was like 10 years younger, I'd probably be more receptive to them.
I know what you mean.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I know what you mean.
They're almost like almost kind of like a new iteration of Odd Future.
A little bit, yeah. There's definitely parallels there.
Yeah,
they're like a little bit more controlled, like compared to what Odd Future were when they first came out.
Yeah.
But
I'd recommend that album though, like Kevin Abstract's latest album. I can't remember the name of it, but
I
it's.
can't remember either.
It's
I will
decent.
check that out because I feel like, I mean, he is a standout member of the group, and I feel like that's another thing that makes that group work so well, is that he speaks as candidly on those tracks as he does on his own, presumably, from what I've heard. And like, I just love that. I love that like honesty, and it really works. I've seen them actually as well in London before.
Brockhampton.
Like, they are those guys. If you get a chance to see them perform live, like
Nuts.
do it.
I've seen
They're
them live,
amazing.
I've seen like highlights. I can't remember which festival it was, but it's been my festival days are kind of numbered now. I remember I saw Frank
Don't say
Ocean.
that, man.
I saw
Yeah.
Frank
No,
Ocean
never
wireless
say no
like
to
some
festivals,
time
man.
ago.
Come on.
Frank Ocean was really sick live. Who else? And I saw like The Weeknd, who was almost like before. You know when The Weeknd dropped Trilogy like years ago.
Yeah, oh god, I love that The Weeknd.
Yeah,
That era of The Weeknd,
yeah,
I
exactly.
love
Yeah, that version of The Weeknd, amazing. Everything since then,
Yeah.
But I remember I was with my boys there, and I was like, right, he wasn't on the main stage. This was when he was a little bit kind of unknown.
Yeah.
He was in the Pepsi Max stage when it was in Hyde Park. It wasn't wherever it is now. It's in Olympic Stadium now, wireless.
Pepsi Max is the name of the stage.
Yeah, it's like, the second
I
stage.
thought you were talking about like his personality was like Pepsi Max or something.
No,
Pepsi
no,
Max,
nothing like that, right?
Personality is like
Misconstrued that one. All right, anyway.
You'd always rather.
It's
So,
kind of like
without meaning to
compare him
offend anyone else.
Compare him to a cold glass of Pepsi Max.
So he was basically on like the second stage.
Yeah, not the real thing.
And I was with my boy, and I was just like, right, So I'm gonna go see The Weeknd because I've listened to this album and it is levels. This guy is talented. This is the next guy. I swear to God, you want to come and see it.
Yeah.
And my mate was just like, I want to go see Talisa. She's on the main stage. Andy Gagan, fuck you.
I bet that caused some real friction in that friendship.
Nah, man, he was an usher at my wedding. We're still tight, but my God, man,
he's lucky.
Yeah, I
he's
was
lucky
so judgmental.
End-ups.
Yeah.
Just so we're talking about
after the blowjob video, presumably.
She was on the main stage.
On her own.
There you go, mate. So The Weeknd
was.
Dappy
backup.
No, this is what I'm saying.
When
Man.
was the last time you bought out a song?
Name a
I don't know.
Talisa song now.
No.
Someone here, name a Talisa.
Oh,
No.
mate, I couldn't.
No.
I know
There you
that
go. So
Daffy's
there
been
was
bringing out
me.
a lot of music recently, actually. I've seen on your
Yeah,
YouTube. I haven't
yeah.
listened to it.
So there was
but
me
I've
having
seen it.
having the foresight to be like, no, mate, you want to go see this guy? He's like the next thing. He's like, no, he's not current now. All right, fine. Jesus Christ.
Do you go to festivals more to see who are the up and coming?
Bit of both. I quite like discovering new shit as well.
Yeah.
I like just like stumbling upon someone. I'm like, wow, who the fuck was that?
Keep an eye on that guy. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
I think it just depends on the festival because some are so like I don't know.
I feel like this is the thing you're saying, like my festival days are over, but I feel like as you get older, you just start going to different festivals. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
you're probably right.
There are still festivals out there that like you outgrow some, you do, and
Yeah,
others there are like I can't just like say enough about Primavera. That is a
Primavera
mental in Barcelona.
Yeah, man. I think Europe kind of. I'd be swayed for that.
Yeah,
man.
there's some
the
European
climate.
When
the kind
did you
of
go to that one?
The weather.
That
Yeah,
was
exactly, man.
that was
What's the one in
when did we go Primavera?
Outlet.
In May.
Outlet.
And that was like that lineup was crazy. It was like I forget which night, but you know we're talking like Erykah Badu, Pusha T, Danny Brown, Rico Nasty, Peggy Goo.
What are your thoughts on Danny Brown?
I fucking love Danny
Good.
Brown.
Good.
I think I started
My
listening.
man.
I started listening to him when he dropped Triple X.
See, for me,
That
it
was my
was
introduction.
so it was Triple X before he did an
2012,
album. He did
2012,
he did around the same time on Fat Beats. He released
The hybrid.
No, Black and Brown with Black Milk.
Did he release a whole project?
That album's incredible.
Oh my god, you're right. Yeah,
it's
yeah,
amazing.
sorry. Yeah,
It's amazing. It's so good.
I missed that. And I think I've recently saved that on Spotify to go back to.
It's so
'cause
good.
I was like,
That's
shit.
probably my favourite Danny Brown project.
I'm actually, I'm happy that I remembered.
But
I need to watch that
we
now.
talked about just to kind of have a delta to last week, right? So we talked about the like ICP and the gathering of the Juggalos in terms of like the independent festival scene. So not going into that because Aiden thought that a gigolo was a gimp. So he was confused between what a gimp was and what was.
Wait, you mean a juggler?
So a juggalo is like an ICP fan, right?
Yeah, right.
But it's a play on words of
I
a gigolo.
thought a juggalo was a gigolo. I thought they were the same thing, man. I was confused.
But then you thought a gigolo was a gimp rather than a
I
male
see
prostitute.
I see what you're saying.
So anyway, that's irrelevant. But my
That's
question
exciting.
to you is, if you had, obviously they're like, they've got their own festival, they've got a cult of followers.
Yeah.
If you were in their position and you had your own festival, who would headline?
Oh my.
Who would you get there? Who would you have performing at your own
So
festival?
it's not a juggalo festival.
Nah,
it's your own,
not
your
full
own
of weird, not full of weird clowns. But like, if it was your very own festival.
Well, I'd headline, obviously.
Yeah. All right.
No.
Of course.
But,
what a nice question.
oh my god.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
you'd want to do like your dream lineup, wouldn't you?
This is like your top 5. So
Yeah.
And who would that be? Come on. So hypothetically speaking, and don't worry if you think that all right, someone's going to slip your mind, but in this moment in time,
Yeah, right
who
now.
springs to
You asked
mind?
me right now.
you'll have Shotgun The Aux hosting.
Hold on,
Obviously, yeah. You guys would have your own tent.
Quick question: have you just got one main stage, or are we talking like a main stage and then like?
it's up to,
Well, actually, so okay.
it's up to you, man. It's your festival.
I'm gonna flip this back. So I'll do main stage, and then you have a Shotgun the Aux tent.
all
Okay.
right.
You guys tell me how you're gonna curate that.
Oh
Who
shit.
you gonna-
Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
So I'm gonna have Kendrick.
Okay.
I'm gonna have Frank. I'm gonna have Andre 3000 come out to do a set and do all the tracks that he does with Frank. I'm gonna have was there a number? What was the?
No, mate,
But you got to think
this
about
is,
time.
This is a hypothetical fictional
Kano.
festival.
Kano.
Oh yes, I like
Yeah,
that.
Yeah,
Kano
yeah.
would be on there definitely.
Who would be your prime time slot? Like the kind of what would be like? That's like the evening,
like the
going,
big,
like the
pyramid
big
stage.
main one.
Cheryl Crow. What?
God, yeah.
Tulisa, what?
Oh my God, that's so difficult.
Would you go Erykah Badu?
I mean, yeah, that'd be amazing. Yeah, I think
Don't-
she's
don't-
a headline.
Don't
She's a
spoon feed him, mate. He's
she's
got
a
to figure it out.
headline act.
He's got
She's
to
a
answer his
headline act.
questions. Yeah.
I'd- but I'd
she's
want
on our
them-
stage, man.
I'd want them to do I'd want them to do a track together or something. Do you know what I mean? I'd want to have Kendrick perform "Don't Kill My Vibe" with Erykah doing the hook and like a guest verse from
That'd
Andre
be so much
3000
better
or
than Emily
something.
Sando
Oh.
jumping on.
And Kano, and I'd want to mix it up. I'm trying to think I'd have some other like maybe like Roots Maneuver, Rodney P. I'd have just the best of all
Yeah.
those worlds.
Creme de la
James
creme.
Blake.
Creme de la menthe, as Del Boy would say.
This
who,
is a good.
who would you have
So,
on my
yeah,
main stage.
on a Shotgun The Aux stage?
Oh, I'll Shotgun
So
the
you got this dope.
I'd
tent.
have Thundercat shredding the
That's
bass.
such a good one.
And that's
Oh,
it.
Fly Low. Fly Low on
Fly
the
Low,
main stage as
alright.
well.
What
Yeah.
stage is the Shotgun the Aux stage?
Anything goes, mate. Anything
Anything.
goes.
I
Do you know?
don't
Do you know?
Yeah, Flying Lotus, man. Sorry,
Yeah.
just to elaborate, Flying Lotus, 100%.
Yeah,
That Never Catch Me
incredible.
track with Kendrick. The video with the kids.
Imagine seeing that live. Imagine seeing them do that live.
But he's collaborated with David Firth, who is the Flash player animator who did like Salad Fingers and all of that stuff. Do you remember that from back in the day?
Yeah, of course I do.
Yeah,
It still
exactly.
haunts
So-
me at night.
Exactly, man.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I like Rusty Spoons.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
so David Firth frequently collaborates with Flylo.
In what capacity?
Music. They directed a film together called
Did they do that
Kuso.
together?
Yeah.
The fucked up one that got all
Yeah,
the
Kuso.
people walked out. Have you watched it?
I have, yeah, because I'm a weirdo.
Well, I want to watch it. I
Yeah,
haven't found
it's
it.
nonsensical. But the thing is, you need pretext, yeah. So if you're familiar with David Firth and Flying Lotus anyway as artists,
Yeah, they're weird.
you're going in thinking this is going to be completely like bonkers.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
You'd
it
want
doesn't
it to be.
Exactly, man. It's not going to make any fucking sense. If you go in expecting something to be, coherent, then you're going to be disappointed.
Definitely not.
But we digress. So anyway,
My
Thundercat.
person would be Denzel Curry.
Denzel Cut. Oh,
Great
I
shout.
think
that's
that'd be-
different, man.
His
That's
album bangs.
That's a
His
good
album's
shout.
I'd have
Slightly quite different, but I think it
dunno.
would be sick to see live.
Do you know
Yeah.
who I really rate at the moment?
Who?
Tierra Whack. You heard of her?
Yeah, she's sick.
Have you heard Whack World that came out in 2018? Listen to that shit. So,
Yeah, amazing.
so
Then my
so-
follow up to that would be Little Sims as well on that
Oh,
stage.
so similar kind of, it's kind of and very different actually. Just they're female, so maybe I need to slap myself on the wrist for that. but so Whack World, yeah, it's a 15-minute album. It probably runs just shy of 15 minutes, and it's every single track on the album runs at under 55 seconds. So each individual
Mad.
track is an individual concept, and it's just delivered in a completely different style. However, it still remains thematic, if that makes sense. It still kind of glues together. It's like nothing you'd ever heard, man. It's fucking crazy. Check it out. Whack World, Tierra Whack.
She's sick.
Get on that shit.
I'd
It's
have
so
a-
good.
I'd have a Dreamville kind of set.
Ah, okay.
Like a Dreamville, so like I'd have Cole, Jid, but like
Baz.
Yeah.
rather than just choosing Cole,
Yeah.
but I'd have like the Dreamville, like all
Yeah.
of them coming on. Like Baz and
They
Cole.
must be doing an album, right?
Oh yeah, it's like there's some like movie coming out, like the Revenge of the Dreamers 3,
Yeah.
so dropping. But I don't know if that. I think that's like the making of, like a little
Right.
film, and then I'd imagine the album will drop off.
Yeah.
But I think the crucial point to get right is feeding people more than a cheese sandwich, making sure that people have like accommodation they can stay at.
Yeah.
Jarrell is
I
in
just
no way
realised that.
involved in the project.
Water will be available.
Yeah, 100%.
With
Jake's
100%.
got that covered. Haven't you,
Yeah.
Jake?
Oh mate, we spoke about this yesterday, and you had definitely had this. Covered.
But to be honest, right, like we speak about fucking what was the festival called?
Fire.
Fire Festival.
Fire.
I love
Which
the
it
fact that
wasn't.
I love the fact that those people got fucked over. Looking at them, I think like, if I was gonna fuck anyone over, it would be you.
Yeah. They
They'd be
yeah.
rich American kids.
Yeah.
Like how much did they really? I mean, there were some people who probably couldn't afford to take that L, but there were.
All right, okay, fair enough.
Sorry for them, but
Yeah,
there were a
bring it,
lot.
bring
There were a lot that could.
Yeah, like that
there-
woman who owned like whatever it was out there, and then she
She got fucked over.
She
Oh no! I'm not. No.
Not
All
talking
right,
about
I'm
them,
not
you're
talking.
about
I'm
the
not
people.
talking
There
about the
was-
locals.
There was one guy that won a
They
ticket.
were reimbursed though, I think.
There was one guy
and then
that won
some.
a ticket,
better.
and he fucking loved it. Just because he got to see so many people like pissed off and just having a bad weekend. Like,
he was like, "This was sick."
Yeah.
It didn't cost him anything.
The ultimate sadist. Like, what's that about?
That's hilarious. I want to see that guy's documentary.
Oh yeah.
Because there were 2 documentaries. There was one on YouTube, and then there was the one on Netflix that we watched, where the guy was talking about taking one for the team. Do you remember that?
Yeah, because wasn't
it? Like, I was prepared to suck his dick.
Oh my god! Yeah, that was like that. That became the reason why people were watching it. Did you see the sucker's dick guy? Like, it became more about that. But there was, you only watched the Netflix. I only watched the Netflix.
Yeah, I only saw.
Apparently, that was like the super biased one, right? That
Probably.
Was the one that was,
I wouldn't be surprised.
It was funded by.
John Rule.
No, the fuck Jerry.
He hasn't got any money. I'm only joking. Yeah, he's got. He's got no equity.
Yeah, right. No, it's funded by the fuck Jerry guy.
Yeah.
So it was like, but I want to see the other one. I want to see like the real.
The other one's a bit grittier, I think. Yeah, the other one's like proper guerrilla filmmaking.
Yeah.
So what projects have you got lined up now?
So Smoke and Mirrors obviously is out now. Still like very much pushing that. Got a video for that dropping next month. Just waiting to like work out how that's kind of getting released, but it's like ready to go.
That will be this month.
Oh yeah, my bad. Yeah. So well, hopefully by the time this is out, the video will also be out, but we'll see, or it'll be just about to drop. So yeah, that's looking really, really good. Excited for that. And then after that, I think it's going to be mainly. I've got like another couple of singles to put out that again were like collaboration with Jackson Park. So we're going to do a couple of those, couple more videos as well. And then I've also been working on a bunch of stuff with another producer who I'm good friends with, who goes by the name Josh Ryan. And we've been seriously going to work. Like we've been making some crazy stuff. So that we've got a single for that ready to come out. That's hopefully going to come out before the end of the summer, but we'll kind of see how that goes. And there's like a project that's going to be kind of off the back of that as well. So yeah, just like staying busy, man. And then in was the end of August, I'm going to be playing at Sundown Festival in Norfolk.
Right.
So opening the main stage there, which is pretty sick.
Yes.
So it's a pretty cool lineup there. Ocean Wisdom's playing there. I think like Tiny Tempers are headlining on the Sunday or something. It's like urban and pop kind of thing.
Yeah, keeping it safe.
Yeah.
Playing it safe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Family friendly. So but that would be sick. I'm really looking forward to that. And that's it, man. Just lots more music and videos coming out.
Awesome, man. So besides like hip hop and stuff, is there any other genres that you listen to?
I love I really kind of like alternative rock as well. I like a bit of Radiohead.
Oh, mate,
I like kind of grungy
Favorite
stuff.
album?
I say In Rainbows probably. That's.
All right, so later on, man.
Yeah.
Like, so I came into Radiohead through the Bends, man. So like.
That's a phenomenal album. Yeah.
The Bends and OK Computer. Like I think I hold the Bends in more kind of prestige.
Yeah.
But OK Computer is probably like more acclaimed. But I love the Bends, man.
No, I think
that's such a fucking sick
album. It's basically ridiculous. A flawless album. Yeah. I think to be honest, it's between those for me. Because it's just they did.
But In Rainbows, man, I think that's still.
Because it's when they're a bit more progressive. Do you know what I mean? It's like as time's gone on, they get a bit weirder.
The epitome of prog rock, though, man. I think Radiohead.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, like, obviously in this era anyway. Well, I say this era in the 90s.
Yeah.
After the 70s.
No, totally. But no, I mean, I love that, and I love. I listen to a bit of Smashing Pumpkins and like some of that more grungy stuff.
Yeah.
And
love a bit of grunge.
Yeah, love it.
Alice in Chains, it's my shit.
I like my liquid drum and bass as well. I really do. I like dip into that every now and again. I'm really open to what, as long as it's good. Do you know what I mean? As long as it's decent, I can normally get behind it.
It's interesting because I think the fact that you're into a range of music, you can definitely see that in your music that you put out. It has it's not your sort of just typical sort of hip hop. It has got a range of different sounds. Like I was going to ask, I thought it had, like as you said at the beginning, a very soulful sound.
And you can tell it's conscious as well. Like you can tell that that you're putting it out and you're aware of the fact that okay, I don't want to sound different to everyone else. However, like going back to your inception into hip hop, being at such a young age and whatnot, like it comes naturally to you. Do you know what I mean? So it's not it's not just okay. I need to like make a conscious decision to be really different.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just-
no, totally.
It is kind of a breath of fresh air because at the moment, and don't get me wrong, I love boom bap. I love like UK hip hop generally, but there's a lot of oversaturation,
Of
and
course there
and
is,
it's
yeah.
nice to hear someone approaching it from a different angle.
Cool. I know.
So keep doing it.
I
Keep doing it.
appreciate that. I really appreciate that. And that's like I said at the beginning. Like that's kind of it's just naturally the way I go.
Yeah,
It's
man.
just, like to mix it up. So
So
I'm glad that people hear that because I think you work on something and you never know. Like, and people are going to interpret it however they want, and that's fine as long as they like it. I don't care. But it's nice when people do recognize like you've maybe drawn inspiration from certain places or whatever.
So man, I mean, we could probably chat all day about
Yeah,
hip hop
yeah.
and general, like geek out, and you have to come back for part 2, man, for real, because
Definitely.
it took so long to get you on for this one. But is there anyone you want to like shout out or big up or anything you want to plug? Go for it, man. The mic is yours.
Just want to shout out Jackson Park, shout out Joss Ryan. We've got like a bag of music coming. Again, Smoke and Mirrors video will be out, I guess, this month when you're listening to this. That's about it, man. I don't know. Just keep. Oh well, I guess socials as well. If you want to like stay, following what I'm doing, just look me up. I'm on everything. AyiTe First Son, AYITE First Son, and then on Instagram it's AyiTe_First Son.
So
yeah,
you got to spell that phonetically slower for the listeners.
AYITE, and then First Son. I mean, like son
Exactly.
is the child.
But
son,
the reason I say that is that you need to look up this guy. His music's really good. I really
thank you,
respect
man.
what you're doing, man. Like
Appreciate
it is a breath of fresh air. So keep doing your thing, man.
I'll do my best.
Yeah, for real. So before we tune out, Aiden or Jake, whoever wants to take this, where can you find a podcast?
Everywhere.
Everywhere, man. Yeah. YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, all the podcast streaming platforms. Go like, subscribe, and show some love.
Especially YouTube, man. Subscribe to YouTube.
Yeah, the YouTube.
good
There's
shit
always
on
new
there.
stuff coming out there. And obviously you can find the videos for the podcast there as well. But yeah, that's it from us.
Yeah.
Big up for coming.
But
Thank you very
thank
much.
you
Very
so
much.
much.
Beforehand, we're
for
going to
having
play
me.
out one of AyiTe's tracks, No
Sick.
Smoking. So let's get into that.
Nice.